Hey guys, it is Friday here in West Virginia, so it is time for us to do our Free It Friday video. And today we have a square body dually from M2 Machines and a couple of Hollywood vehicles from Greenlight's Hollywood series. Now, the reason we have this square body dually crew cab out here is because it corresponds with the one we're ready to unbox today. This is, I believe, 2024's Day of the Dead truck from M2 Miho. And yeah, they're copyright 2024. And then we have the single cab now, and the single cab looks really cool. The paint scheme on it is pretty nice. Here it is. Even the card art, everything about this thing is really, really cool. As you can see, I don't know how to pronounce in Spanish, but the Dia de los Muertos. But anyways, that is translated to Day of the Dead. But this one I really like because it has a little more color to it with the gold and the red and pink and the white skulls. It looks really sweet. And as you can see, same thing done on the truck. And it has like the tribal style, like pinstriping, I guess I would call it. But it's also old school pinstriping that you would see guys doing in the 1950s and 60s on some of the lead sled customs. Very nice work on the hood of this truck. So let's get it out and take a look at it. I've already opened it, and with these trucks that come with the tonneau covers, I do highly recommend that you open them and take the rubber bands off, because the rubber band could eventually start eating away at the paint like we seen with the Hot Wheel 100% stuff back in the late 90s and early 2000s. But another reason is that if you put them away in a box somewhere and the box gets shuffled around when looking for other things and such, I've noticed on some of them, especially the one from the Las Vegas Super Convention, the purple crew cab that had the cap on it, the rubber bands actually started like walking back and forth on the wheel opening, and it was actually rubbing the paint off of the wheel opening. So where it should have been dark purple, it actually rubbed the dark purple tampo off and got it down to the light lavender purple. So yeah, there's a couple of reasons why I recommend to open them, to get those rubber bands off, because they're not good for the vehicles. But honestly, they don't really have any other choice. I also don't like the way that they put the spoilers for the trailers on these trucks, the extended cab piece with the big wing on it. They actually use a transparent tape and tape it to the side of the truck. And I would think that that adhesive over the years would start eating the paint. So that's one reason I open everything, because I don't think it's good to leave them in the packages. Now, as you can see, the back is the same as the front, just with some licensing stuff from Miho, and actually where to find Miho and M&J, which is the same place, on Facebook and their website. Now, there's your warnings for the choking hazards and such. And you can see I've already cut along the back to get the seat open. I always do that. That way the blister still stays firmly attached to the package. That way, if you ever want to keep the package and redisplay it, you can, because as I've showed before, you can actually like have it hanging on the wall and nobody could ever tell it was open, and then you won't have the blister like flopping back and forth if you cut it from the back side. So anyways, this does come in the cool acrylic display case. I wish M2 and Miho would have kept using the reusable clamshells. When they first launched the square body trucks back in, I think, 2017 or 18, no, it was 18 or 19, but the first ones that came from Miho of the black and white truck and the gray and red Edelbrock, they had reusable clamshells. They were like Protecto packs, but they only did it with like the first 4 releases, and then they stopped doing it. It's kind of disappointing. But, and they even came with the acrylic case too, but the blister pack you could open up and take the truck out if you wanted to and reuse it. So anyways, here is the truck, and you can see the tonneau cover does come off to expose the inside of the bed, which is done in this sand color, like beige or tan. I believe that's how the whole bed is done. Now, the motor compartment or the cab itself, I think it's done in black, as you can see under the hood, the bottom of the hood, and the inner fenders are done in black. So, anyways, this skull and pinstriping stuff are tampos and has a black stripe across the tailgate to highlight the Chevrolet, which is cool. Your acrylic headlight lenses, I'm sorry, tail light lenses, headlight, jeez. And then the vanity plate, it says Miho exclusives. That's pretty cool. Then the big diameter chrome semi-style dually wheels. I love that wheel. That's why I put it on all of my drop trucks. As you can see, every single one of them, even my single cabs have those wheels on it. A couple trucks have black ones, but it's still the same wheel. They're just painted black. So anyways, that, I don't know what I did with my screwdriver. I was going to take it off and put it next to that one, but you guys get the idea. And under the hood of this one, they did a nice job. It still has a carbureted, old school, small block Chevy with a snorkel air cleaner. So no modern stuff under the hood of this one. It is done much better than their last release of stuff that hit Walmart, because what they're doing, they're making the engines the same color as the interior, so it looks really bad. These trucks with beige interiors have beige engines and stuff, so it's not too good. But the stuff I've noticed from Miho and other higher end like hobby shops and stuff that are exclusives, they take the time to detail the engine. But when it comes to the stuff that's going to be mass produced for like Walmart and other places, the engines are the same color as the interior of the truck with hardly any detail at all. So now moving along to our Greenlight stuff. There are two Mopars here. Now this is new for me, but I know these have been hitting people's stores across the country over the past several months, probably since, I don't know, I would say August. It is the Greenlight Hollywood Series 43. That is the True Romance 82 Plymouth Grand Fury. And I guess these are called M bodies. M as in Michael. But I honestly have never had one of these in my collection until now. This is my first one. I know Greenlight makes quite a few of them, different variations of the Grand Fury. I think the Dodge Diplomat and the Chrysler, I don't know if it's the Fifth Avenue or whatever it was called back in the early 80s. But they are smaller body cars. They're probably the same, I don't know, I would say as a Chevy Malibu, like back in the late 70s, early 80s. Those square G-body Malibus. That's probably what I would compare this with. So pretty cool car. I like it because it's not a made-up police car. It's an actual car that was used in Detroit back in the early 80s. It's from the movie True Romance with Christian Slater, and I don't remember who the girl was. And I don't even remember much about the movie. To be honest, I don't even remember if I ever watched it. So this phrase on the back says, I had to come all the way from the highways and byways of Tallahassee, Florida to Motor City, Detroit to find my true love. Okay, so that explains the Detroit police car. And now you can see the licensing stuff. It was produced in 2024, but not released until 2025. And it has where you can find Greenlight online. And no social media stuff. Huh, that's kind of weird. And the Chrysler licensing and all that other stuff. Series 43. And yes, I've already opened it. And these packages that Greenlight are using nowadays with the Hollywood stuff are super thick and bulky and heavy. So if you're selling anything in those packages and you go to ship them, they're not going to ship the same weight as like the M2 stuff, or not the M2 stuff, but the Hot Wheel Premiums and things like that, or even the older Greenlight stuff, because that package is super thick. It was even hard to cut through and flip open the back. As you can see, the back didn't open too well. It kind of cracked into several pieces. But this car, on the other hand, they did a very nice job on it. The only thing is this wheel opening on the driver's side isn't like perfectly centered, or the axle isn't centered. As you can see, it looks like it sets in the back a little too far. Now on the passenger side, it looks perfect. It's like spot on perfect. The whole car on this side looks fantastic. On this side, however, it looks like the rear axle is moved back just a hair. So this side for the rear wheel opening did not get centered really well, but it still looks good. I don't know how many more of these I will be buying. If I find them on the pegs at Walmart and I don't have to pay shipping on them for like $7-8 a piece, or at a Hobby Lobby or something like that, sure, I may pick them up if they're modeled after a true car or something. But if it's some fantasy city or some I don't know, running on empty series or something, I will probably pass. But because this is an actual police car is one of the reasons I bought it. And it does look pretty good, and I'm glad to have one in my collection finally. Because there was a few times I was contemplating on buying one just to have it because it's a Mopar, but I never pulled the trigger. So the last one we're taking a look at isn't the final Mopar in the release 43. There's actually an A-Team long wheelbase Dodge truck, but I did not buy it because I think the wheelbase looks really messed up on Greenlight's long wheelbase Dodge trucks. But anyways, I did buy this though. This is your Dodge Durango from Yellowstone, and I heard this series is very, very good. I have not watched it yet, so I know nothing about it, except that they have a Durango and a lot of other Mopars in the series, because the Yellowstone, what was it, a Dodge police car, Charger police car, and then there was a dually, it was a Ram. So there's a lot of Mopars in the series. I do know that because some of the older Yellowstone or Hollywood series that were at my Walmart last year or earlier this year had some Yellowstone police cars in it, and I remember one was a Charger, and the Ram, I don't remember if it was a police car or not, but it was for Yellowstone. So the Durango I had to get because there's not many civilian release Durangos besides the SRT ones. There's like I think one in a hitch and tow set with the clear side enclosed trailer from a few years back. It's a white Durango, and I think it's just a base Durango, and it has no SRT stripes or badges or anything like that on it. So when I seen this one, I had to snag it up because it is the only non-police and non-high performance Durango that I have, or that I think that they make, actually. So anyways, on the back side, just same thing, Yellowstone, 2014 Dodge Durango, and where to find Greenlight online. And once again, these packages are super thick and hard to cut. I already got it open, but it's a little bit tough to get it out of there, or get it cut open and opened enough to pull the insert out with the car. So here you have it. This thing is dressed up with chrome rocker panels, which are basically the silver painted, and then the silver trimmed front valence and the silver trimmed mirrors, which I guess all the silver trim is there to represent chrome, I would think. And then there's nothing special about the plate. It's not a vanity plate, but it probably most likely is the exact same plate used on this guy's vehicle in the show. Usually they do that, and as you can see, they do a fantastic job on their Durangos. Greenlight does. You can see all the emblems are there, and then your Dodge in the center of the tailgate, where the tail lights connect together, and your little subtle antenna, and your rear spoiler and such. And the chrome wheels look really good. I don't know, this may not be the first time they use chrome wheels. I think some of the police ones have chrome wheels, but the other ones that I have, they all have black painted wheels for the SRT models. And as you can see, this has a flat hood, no scoops, nothing like that. So that is kind of cool. Trust me, I prefer the performance versions over the regular, everyday, like soccer mom type one, but it is cool to have at least one in your collection, at least in my opinion. But yeah, they did a really great job on this one. I'm glad to have it in my collection. And next week we'll be unboxing the last SRT model that I needed, which was the black with the red stripes. It's very hard to find that one, and I ended up finding it, but it's a green machine, and I wouldn't have minded that too much if it would have been a green paint green machine. I would have been trying to get it and the regular version, but this one has a green base and green wheels, so I'm going to do the same thing I did to my green machine Ram Charger. When I got it, I took the green wheels off, even the spare tire, and replace them with regular wheels, but it said the green base. So I'm going to do that with the Durango too, because I got it for less than $10, which I thought was a really good price, because the regular variant I've seen on eBay before, and they're actually selling for, is like 20 or $25, and people are buying them up. I just couldn't justify spending that on it. But anyways, I did find one finally, but it's a greenie, but all it needs is a wheel swap. So we'll be doing that probably next week or something, whenever it gets here. But that's it for our Free It Friday, guys. I'm not sure if we'll be back over the weekend. We'll see what else Walmart has. Actually, yes, we will be back tomorrow, because I did pick up the new Silver Series hybrid speed set. It'll just be a quick close-up of the 5 cars. We won't actually crack them open, but we'll take a close-up look at them tomorrow. So, then if I find anything else over the weekend, we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll do another video on Sunday. But I hope you guys enjoy your Friday, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Thanks for watching.